Alright, we're on to the final part for our smoke funnel. We're going to add one more element to it. This is just going to be a little thing of cloud, smoke, dust down here at the bottom. So it looks like it's really getting pulled up from the rest of the elements up here. Let's go ahead and go up to our create and click on the particle system again. And once again, let's set our position to 0, 0, 0. Let's relabel this. We'll just say ground dust. Just left click and drag it onto the smoke funnel. Okay, so now that we have the ground dust in there, let's go ahead and add our material to it. The material we'll add inside of the render rollout. We're just going to add that same smoke we've been adding to the others. Alright, so now we have our smoke added to it here. When it comes to the sort, be sure that you do by distance on this one. That way, in case there's stuff in front or behind, since we're dealing with so many. Alright, so on the very top, going down, we'll go ahead and again start off with 1. We're going to make sure that our pre-warm is set on, that way it just starts up instantly. The lifetime on this one, we don't want it as long as the others. We actually want to make sure that it stops quicker on that side of it. The speed that we have, very similar to how we've done it before, we'll set it to 0. Let's go ahead and take the size itself. We want it actually kind of big at the bottom. That way the filling of it is it covers a lot of the area around it. We'll start off with a we'll go for about a 1.4, somewhere around there. Start rotation, let's go ahead and do like the other one. We'll go ahead and add a random between two constants, 0 to 360. And then the start color, we can go ahead and have that one back down again as well. We'll make it a little bit kind of a darker tone to it. Let's see, somewhere around there. Let's see if we can get the right brown from it. There we go. And then again, 0 and 0 for those. Change the space to world. And then you can go for 10 again. We can keep it consistent. Probably when this is all said and done, you could take this down to like a 400 or 500 for a max count, and it's still going to work just fine. Inside your emissions, we'll go ahead and leave it at 10, but again, you could probably take this to fewer. Actually, since it's only going to be down here, we'll take this to about 5. And if we need to add it up some more just to make it thicker, then we can do that afterwards. Inside of the shapes, we have our cone. Our cone size, similar to the other where we went with a 80 for it. We're just trying to really branch it outwards for that side of it. The radius part, we're still taking, and we want to kind of keep it down to that small, but we'll make it a little bit broader, a little bit wider. The other was 0.2. We'll do like a 0.35 on it. And then again, we'll have it emit from the base. We want to go ahead and add our velocity onto here. The velocity we still want to do similar to like we did with the others. We'll go ahead and do with our curve between each one of those. Let's go ahead and go to our curve editor here at the bottom. So I'll start with my x1, and be sure that when it comes to size on here, let's go ahead and take this back up. We'll do 10 for the size, and then we'll paste in our curve on that one. We'll do same thing for the Z. We'll do a 10 on this one, and we'll paste it in. So the process we're doing, I'm going a little bit quick, but it should be because it's familiar to you. We're doing the same steps over and over again. So we've got this going on. We're going to go from we'll go for about a 0.5 to about a 6 on here. And then I'm going to take my Z, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. We'll just left click and have just the Z going. Remember, you can double click or you can right click and do add key. We'll add a key and we'll take it up to there. I'm going to lower this one. There we go. So we're going to start getting that fill, that same type of pattern going with it, but we're going to want to kind of bring it around a little bit differently into it. Also remember that whenever your velocity is for all of these, we've been doing it with world. That way it actually brings up into the same direction. Alright. And let me actually take this a little bit lower here. I think we'll have a little bit more fun with it if we could take it down to here. There we go. So this one's going to be something that stays really close to the ground, but it's still going to give us that same kind of spin and same kind of feel for it. Alright. And then we'll play with the Z, and I'm going to move the Z over, very similar like we did before. And up to there, down to there. There we go. So we've offset the Z from the X pattern that we had, and then we have just a little bit of a curve on that one. So now we have three different layers. We've got a long layer here, one that kind of fades out pretty quick. Now we've got a very low base one here. So with the pattern set, let's go ahead and change out a couple of the other elements. One of the things we can do is just the force over lifetime. We'll take this one and we're just going to add in some numbers into it. We'll do and we want to do these on the world. I'm going to take this and we'll try it to start with. We'll go for about a 0.5, and then we'll go for a 0.12. Let's see how much. We'll do a 0.5 here. There we go. Let's see if that's going to go too far off on the side. Yeah, it kind of pushes it off a little bit too much here. There we go. We'll do a Z just with the 0.1. That'll work. Okay, so we have our force over lifetime set up. Let's go ahead and go down to our color over lifetime. Click on it. So this one is going to be a little bit different of a pattern, but we still want to have that same in and out between all of them. So that top one for alpha will be black. The one over on the right hand side will be black. And then let's just place in a single one here, right in the middle, 50%. And we'll do an alpha at full range right here. So it's going to be a very short stint in terms of you're going to not see, not see. And you see how it kind of blends right in with it? Alright. So that'll give us a good color over lifetime right there. And then we want to do the size over lifetime. And the size over lifetime, we can actually just do, instead of a curve on this one, let's just do two constants and be a random between them. And random, let's try anywhere between 4, and we'll go for like a 4 to 1. See how that looks here. Yeah, we want that size. I'm going to just drag this up for a second, see how much larger I can make it. Does it still look okay? And how much smaller we can make it. So probably somewhere around, yeah, it's probably going to work somewhere around that 4 range. You could even do like a 1.4 or 1.5 range on there. Yeah, that'll work out pretty good. Alright. And then if you want to add a little bit more, similar to like we did the other ones, if you want to add for the color over lifetime, if you want to have a little bit more color into it, then you can certainly add on one of the color options here. I could click on here and just add a little bit darker tint to it. Let's see. Go somewhere around here. Yeah. So that may help just a little bit, so that when it does come in, it'll have a little bit, those little darker pieces that kind of travel with it. Alright, and then we want to do the rotation over lifetime like we've done before. We'll go ahead and set this one up and do the constant between 2. And we'll do the negative 180 to 180, so we've got a full spin going on with it. Alright, so that's going to take us to just about the finish of it. If we look at what we've got at this point, we have a spinning cloud going across. And then if we were to check it out inside the scene, and how about we move our camera back a little bit so we can see the full amount of it. Where's our camera at here? We'll find a good view and then set it up from there. Somewhere around here. Remember, if you want to reset your camera into a different view, you can always select your camera and you can just push Control Shift and F, and it's going to center it. It's going to base it on the view of your scene. So wherever your camera view is there, it's going to set that camera right into the same spot. So if I go back to here and I push play, then all of a sudden I start to see the shapes happening. You start to see the parts and the pieces working in with this. So at this point, we've already gone, this is probably about 40 plus minutes, maybe 50 minutes, just to get to this point. And then after this point, this is when you start adding in even more detail, even tinier stuff, and you're looking at another 4 to 6 hours of tweaking it and making it just right so that it really fits into your scene. Make sure that all the parts and pieces are working for you. Alright, so we have this, we've got all the things happening. The one of the elements that you can always do is just check it out from here. Also put it inside the textured scene and see how it looks with the other objects, other environment. Make sure it fits for that. Alright, but this is a good start. This is going to give you a nice beginning to understanding how to make some funnel type systems with the particles, how to have them almost following like a spline going up and around through it. Alright, so that'll finish off our smoke funnel. You have all 4 of those put in together right here, so what I'm going to do is just left click and drag this one over into the smoke funnel section right there, and we'll make a prefab so that they're all together. So when you put it inside a scene, you'll just drag one prefab in and it'll add all of those in there.